Hello friends, today we are going to see the diseases of tomato. In tomato, there are damping of wilt, early blight, late blight, buckeye rot, leaf curl, and mosaic. These are major diseases that now we are going to study. First, we will see early blight of tomato. Early blight of tomato caused due to Alternaria solani, and this is one of the widely distributed disease found all over the India and all over the world also. And there are 78 to 80% losses were noted against the infection of this disease. The disease is most prevalent in nursery as well as in the main field after transplanting. That means this disease is more severe after transplanting, and in some cases it causes much more damage to the nursery plants also. On infected leaves, it shows circular to angular dark brown to black color spots with concentric rings. Such type of concentric rings were only produced in case of infection by this Alternaria pathogen. That means any Alternaria pathogen, when it infects plant tissues, it produces certain type of concentric rings which you can observe in central image. There is the concentric rings, त्यालाच आपण वलयाकृती आकृती पण म्हणतो. म्हणजेच अशा पद्धतीचे कॉन्सन्ट्रिक रिंग्स हे फक्त अल्टरनेरियाच्या इन्फेक्शनमध्येच आपल्याला बघायला भेटतात. कालांतराने हे स्पॉट डार्क ब्राउन कलरचे किंवा डार्क ब्लॅक कलरचे होतात. These dark spots are also found at the base of the stem near ground, and stem is gradually girdled. Spots are also found on stem at the juncture of the side branches, which are easily broken by wind. Because these branches are so weak due to infection of this Alternaria pathogen, and this Alternaria pathogen produces alternaric toxin. This is very harmful for plants. On fruits and on twigs, it shows dark brown sunken spots, and sometimes shading of immature fruits is also occurs in case of severe infection. That means all the fruits were prematurely shaded from standing crop after the severe infection of this Alternaria pathogen. You can see the infection of this Alternaria pathogen on all solanaceous crops like chili, potato. These are some solanaceous crops on which this pathogen can survive in absence of main host. It can also survive for 3 years in dried infected plant debris under dry condition. It is a seed-borne pathogen. The secondary spread of this pathogen is always by means of airborne conidia produced on dead twigs or dead material. So for management of this disease, we have to use disease-free seeds for sowing or for preparation of nursery. Similarly, seed should be treated with Thiram 0.2% or 2 gram per liter of water should be treated. And after the emergence of this disease, you can also spray triazole group of fungicide, which were found very effective against this Alternaria blight. The next most important disease is late blight of tomato. It is a very devastating pathogen, and the major epidemic was occur in history, that is late blight of potato caused due to Phytophthora infestans. And in 1845 there is a large famine occurred due to the infection of this late blight pathogen. So economically it is very important disease, and it is widely distributed in all over the world. It shows 95% yield losses when severe infection occurs. In India, it was first reported by E.J. Butler in 1903, And in 1845, it was the Great Ireland famine that you already know about history of Ireland famine. That means 1.5 million people were died and half million people were migrated from Europe. So at that time the potato was a staple food crop, and due to the attack of this lead blight pathogen, the whole potato crops were destroyed, so that there is a starvation of people in Europe. So this is the widely distributed disease. Now we will see the symptoms of this lead blight pathogen. This Phytophthora infestans shows symptoms on leaves like pale green irregular spots which will appear at the tips and margin also. Leaves, stem and fruits are all the plant parts that were attacked by these Phytophthora infestans. The spot enlarged rapidly under moist weather, showing necrosis of central tissues turning dark brown to black in color. On lower surface of leaves, white cottony mycelial growth of this fungus is seen. Brown streak develop on stem. On green tomato, olivaceous greasy spots were observed. The spots gradually cover over entire fruit and the fruits become brown and shriveled. So this is all about symptomatology of this lead blight of tomato. It can cause infection to all Solanaceous crops. And in case of disease cycle, this pathogen survives in diseased crop debris under wet condition, and secondary spread of infection is always by sporangium and zoospore with the irrigation water or irrigation channel. For management of this lead blight of tomato, we should follow the field sanitation methods and destruction of diseased plant debris or planting material. It should be removed outside the field. Do not plant tomato plants near potato or old tomato crop. As I told, solanaceous crops are the reservoir host for development of these Phytophthora infestans. So such host should be removed, and if they emerge or volunteer plants of potato or tomato if arises, you should uproot them and you should destroy them outside the field. Similarly, you can also control this disease by spraying with mancozeb, captopril, zineb, redomil, that is metalaxyl plus mancozeb, then Carzette. These are some chemical fungicides which were found effective for management of these Phytophthora infestans. Now the next most important disease of potato and tomato, that means solanaceous crops, is डॅम्पिंग ऑफ. यालाच मराठीमध्ये रोपे कोलमडणे असं सुद्धा म्हटलं जातं. हा डॅम्पिंग ऑफ बुरशीजन्य रोग आहे आणि तो पिथियम ॲफेनिडर्मॅटम. दॅट मीन्स द कॉजल ऑर्गॅनिझम ऑफ डॅम्पिंग ऑफ इज पिथियम ॲफेनिडर्मॅटम अँड इट इज द ओमायसिटिस फंगस अँड इट कॉजेस pre-emergence and post-emergence damping off in nursery as well as in standing crop or in main field also. You can see the pre-emergence damping off symptoms in images. The germinating young seedlings are killed before the emergence of the radicle and plumule from the soil. You can see in image there is the completely disintegration of the plant material, that is the radicle and plumule were got killed due to the infection of this Pythium ephenetermatum. And in case of post-emergence damping off, it affects seedlings, and such seedlings shows the color of pale green color. Brownish water-soaked lesions were also produced on basal portion of the stem. Stem girdling also occur at collar region of the plant. You can see in images. affected tissue rot and seedling may collapse. That's why it is very important disease. Disease starts in patches in nursery, and after that all nursery crops got killed due to the infection of this damping off. Within 3 to 4 days, whole bed damp off, showing presence of whitish fungal mycelial growth on rotted seedlings. So these are all the marks of identification of this damping off. This fungus is soil borne, and the oospores were responsible for primary infection in soil, and secondary infection is always by sporangia and zoospore, which were developed after the completion of their half part of life cycle. And these zoospore will migrate, or they can infect to adjacent healthy crop through irrigation water or rainwater. Similarly, this disease favors high humidity and high moisture content. So these two factors were predisposing factor for development of this disease. Now for management of this damping off, we should apply integrated control practices, that is soil solarization of nursery beds with 100 gauge low linear density polythene paper, and nursery beds should be raised. That means raised beds should be used for preparation of seedlings, and avoid overcrowding of seedlings. That means proper spacing should be maintained while transplanting also, and while preparing seedlings also. Then steam sterilization of soil can be possible, and after the emergence of this disease, we can also control this disease by soil drenching with fungicides like Bordeaux mixture, copper oxychloride, Redomil, Gold. These are some fungicides which were found effective for management of these Phytophthora infestans. The next most important disease of tomato, that is leaf curl. Its causal organism is tobacco leaf curl virus, TLCV. Symptoms of this leaf curl virus we already seen in earlier crop, that is curling, leaf puckering, blistering, and small leaves should be destroyed due to this leaf curl pathogen, and this is the viral disease. Similarly, it shows stunted growth, shortening of internode. On the undersurface of leaves, there is leafy outgrowth called as ination, followed by mottling and vein clearing with complete or partial sterility. So these are some typical symptoms of this leaf curl disease, and this disease is neither sap transmitted nor seed transmitted, but seeds from fresh fruits having infection may have the virus on their seed coat. The virus is transmitted only by whiteflies, that is Bemisia tabaci, and grafting. Minimum acquisition and inoculation feeding period of this leaf curl virus is 30 minutes, and after the acquisition, the insect requires another 6 hours of incubation to become viruliferans. For management of this leaf curl disease, we can only control the insect vectors, that is whitefly, by spraying insecticides like dimethoate, metacystox 2 ml per liter at the rate of 10 days of interval, so that the sucking pest should be controlled and transmission of this disease will be stopped.